Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another World of Tanks replay with Scout. Today I want to continue a discussion we started a couple weeks ago regarding the IS3. What I have here is what I think is a pretty decent example of gameplay in the IS3, but more importantly, it's an example of an issue I brought up in my first IS3 video, namely the suspect ammo rack in the IS3. You can see here it's a tier 8 game on Malinovka. We're tiered pretty well. Mostly a tier 8 game, but there's lots of tier 7s and 6s to shoot at. And what I'm going to do is head up the hill. I really think that in the standard battle on Malinovka in an IS3, you're obligated to go up the hill. The IS3, it has the mobility to do it. Its gun doesn't lend itself to sniping, and there's really nothing for you to do back on the start line, whereas you have all the attributes in an IS3 to excel fighting on the hill. So that's where I'm going. You can see that I've got my turret locked over the left side, something that I like to do. In the event that a cheeky little scout comes running right up here at about Golf 6, he'll probably get obliterated, but he's going to spot all of you going up the hill and you're going to take fire from your left side. So I like to lock my turret over the left side until I get over here, just so that my turret front is pointing at the direction that I'm most likely to take fire in. Important to remember as you're going up this hill, you're probably going to spot tanks off to your left. You really need to consider whether or not you're going to stop and shoot at those tanks, because yeah, you may get a good shot in a scout, you may even kill a scout, but remember that there is already, for example in this game, there's an M44 on both sides, and those scouts are spotting you for someone, and if that, especially the RD, lands a shot right in your bustle rack, you're very liable to lose a tier 8 heavy in exchange for what? 400 points of damage on the scout, maybe a kill on a tier 6 tank. To say nothing of the fact that the people that win the hill, the team that wins the hill is normally the team that gets up there first with the most tanks. So really think about that before you stop climbing this hill to take a shot at someone sneaking around off to your left. So you see here we're finally getting up to the top of the hill. A Pershing has beat us up the hill. He spotted us. And I'm going to keep moving because I don't want to make myself a blatant target for that M44. Got a Comet off to the left. I know I've got a shot, but again, I'm going to keep moving. What I want to do is try to get up here beside this building and use it for cover from Artie. Put a good shot, 407 points of damage into that Pershing. I believe that was the IS to our right. Puts another shot into him, and then somebody tracks him. Outstanding. Oh, 341. What a low damage roll. Really should have killed that Pershing, but our Pershing puts the kill shot into him, and now that frees us up to advance. Trying to get shots on this Comet here. Little sketchy. Instead, I decided to transition to the T-34, who's a bigger threat. Looking for his Capoa, I saw the armor penetration indicator turn green, so I fired the shot, hoping I can put it into his cupola, but no such luck. So we're going to move on up. Again, been sitting in one spot a little bit too long. Again, trying to line up a shot on the T-34. What I really want is his front slope. Watching the action to the left. I'm really leery about cresting this hill in front of me, because you can bet that they are camping down there by the church, and if you come up here and crest, you're going to take a lot of fire. So I'm going to let that big old KV-5 up there draw fire, and then I'm going to pull up while they're looking at him. Wanted the front slope of the T-34, didn't have it, so I transfer over to the Jagdpanzer. And with a little help from the KV-5, we put the Jagdpanzer 4 out of his misery. Now I'm moving up. chasing that T-34. I don't want to let him get away, get back into these trees, and start firing back with impunity. And there we put a shot into his front slope, and there's Artie aiming at us. Fortunately, we catch a little bit of splash damage, but it misses. There's the Comet shooting into our flank, but I'm not real worried about him. You can see he's hitting the tracks and hitting the spaced armor. I'm going to keep shifting back and forth so as not to make myself a target for Artie and finish off this T-34. You see Artie put a pretty decent splash into us there, and now we're going to turn into the Comet. Go over here and put the kill shot into the Comet. And there, flank shot from Artie, splash, hits the ammo rack. And because I used my repair kit on my tracks, because I didn't want to take a direct hit earlier, now I'm stuck with a damaged ammo rack. But a little revenge there on that scumbag for ammo racking us. And now we're going to turn left and action through the forest. Got an easy 8 in front of us. It's a pretty brave easy 8. I don't know that I would have stood there and traded shots with an IS3 if I was him. And he's going to pay for that misjudgment. Now we got to sit here and wait on the reload. You see there, we're lining up a pretty good shot on the right side of the pike of this IS3. Unfortunately, he's going to start backing up, and now we don't have a shot. The problem with cover is it's destructible, and look at that. Flank shot into the IS3, hits his ammo rack, 1,450 points of damage. I submit to you, ladies and gentlemen, that the IS3 has a very suspect ammo rack. Let's take a look at the results screen. So here you see the results from that battle. 39,797 credits, not too bad. 2,392 experience because it was our first win of the day, so we got the double. Also got a steel wall and a sniper medal out of that. If we take a look at the team scores, you can see that we did 4,040 points of damage, way more than anyone else in that game. I would say that definitely qualifies as dominating a game. Got 5 kills, 1,196 base experience. Fair enough, it wasn't a really good team. I mean, look, they had a T-34 that did no damage. The Jagdpanzer IV did no damage. They had a Lerva that did no damage. It wasn't a great team. But I would have expected some of the other members of the team to perform a little bit better. So that's what I mean when I say I think that's a pretty fair example of dominating a game in an IS3, even though, fair enough, the other team wasn't that good. If we look at the detailed report, you can see that we fired 11 shots, all 11 hit, 1 bounce, 10 penetrations. That gives us the 4,040 damage. Took 16 hits, 9 of which bounced, 2 splash damage from the Artie, 1 of which damaged our ammo rack. And then 7 shots that penetrated, absorbing a total of 3,435 points of damage and still being in the game at the end. So there you have it. Pretty good example of IS3 gameplay, and also I think it shows just how suspect the ammo rack on the IS3 is. I've got 132 games in my IS3. I know that's not, there are lots of people that have more, but that's a fairly decent amount, and I really didn't notice the IS3's ammo rack issues until lately. What I have done is I pulled my KV-1 crew, which is my most experienced Russian heavy crew, out of the KV-1 and into the IS3, and that's how I crewed my IS3. So they've got 2 crew skills. So what I did is I retrained my loader in safe stowage and made his second skill repair, and that seems to resolve the issue. My IS3 doesn't really have any more ammo rack issues, so it's something I think that if you're coming into the IS3, if you're about to get one, you may want to look at. Instead of buying a new crew, try to transfer a crew that's got their first crew skill at 100% so that you can put safe stowage on it. I really wouldn't want to put a wet ammo rack on an IS3. I think there are modules that the IS3 gets infinitely more benefit from. To be honest with you, if it came down to it, I would probably run the risk and just not have safe stowage. I don't think this is a tank that really needs a wet ammo rack in the same way as the T-44, but something to think about. I hope you enjoyed the video, folks. It was a pleasure to show it to you. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.